Ram Ram everyone. Welcome to Enthusiastic Spiritual Series. Let's welcome Shiv Kumarji to give us a discourse on Bhagavad Geeta session based on Swami Ramanand's teachings. Welcome Vaya and thank you all for joining us today.
Shri Ram. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Ram Ram to everybody joining this session. In the last session, we have concluded the first chapter, in which the last verse was that Sanjay Uvaj Evamukta Arjuna Sankhe Ratopasth Upavishat Vishrajya Shasharam Chapam Sok Samvigna Manasaha. So after stating this to Shri Krishna that this war is illegitimate and it will be catastrophic for many reasons. Arjun has kept his cross and bow, and now aside he has kept cross and bow and simply sat on the chariot. And Vishajya Sasaram Chapam Sok Samvigna Manasa. He was very deeply depressed and full with grief and sorrow. He was in total confusion, and this was the state of Arjuna. So in this manner, with this 47th verse, the first chapter, which is Arjun Vishad Yoga, ends. This is Om Tat Saditi Shri Bhagwat Geeta Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishad Yogo Nam Prathamodhyaya. So in this manner, the Arjun Vishad Yoga named this chapter first ends here. And now here starts the second chapter, Ath Dvitiyodhyaya. That is the Sankhya Yoga, the transcendental knowledge or the supernatural knowledge. This chapter encases the supernatural knowledge, what is about our soul. So let us start it. Sanjay Uvach Tam Tatha Krapayavishtam Ashrupunakulekshanam Vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. So Sanjay stated to Dhritarashtra, after this situation, when Arjuna sat on chariot, tam tatha krapaya vishtam, tam tatha, so tam tatha krapaya vishtam. So to him, then krapaya, which was filled with pity, that Arjuna avishtam, and also overwhelmed, that he was in great compassion to kids and kids. So he was overwhelmed that what will happen if any of them got killed. So he was overwhelmed. Krapaya visht ashrupurna, with full of tears, ekshanam, in eyes. So in eyes he was full of tears, that it is not good that we have now concluded to go for war. So he was with full of tears in eyes. Vishidantam idam vakyam, and he was under distress. So idam vakyam uvach Madhusudana. So such statements, such sentences, such uttering was done by Madhusudana, that is Krishna. So Lord Krishna, that is the killer of Madhu demon. That's why the name is given as Madhusudana. So Lord Krishna has uttered these sentences, these preachings to Arjuna, who was under distress and full of tears. Sanjay said, to him who had been thus filled with pity, whose eyes were filled with tears and showed distress, and who was sorrowing, Madhusudana stated these words. So in this manner, the second chapter starts. To describe Arjuna's feeling, Sanjay uses the word kripaya, that means filled with pity. This verse was Uvach or said by Sanjay. So that is the Arjuna was filled with pity. Now here pity means compassion. So compassion is of two types. One is divine compassion and other is material compassion. One type of compassion is felt by saints or God to those souls who are living in material realm. So who are living in material world and they are not guided or turn themselves towards God. They are ultimately God distressed, and saints feel pity for them. Such is divine uh, kind of compassion. And other is for those uh, who are in grief due to the attachment with material realm. Like we are in grief, we are also having compassion, but for what? For our attachment to those, what happened to them if they die, if something happens to them. So it is our compassion. So our compassion is unguided, so it is not perfectly guided. So such is the second kind of compassion, and this was the kind of compassion which Arjuna was having. It was not a kind of divine compassion. So Sanjaya has mentioned such type of compassion in this verse. Arjuna is here experiencing second type of compassion. He is overwhelmed with material pity that the enemies gather for battle. So what will happen if some material loss, if the loss of bodies to whom he was attached will have occur, then what will happen? They are their forefathers, fathers, uncle, and father-in-laws, even brethren, cousins, and also nephew and niece. So what will happen to them? So for such kind of reason, Arjun was compassionate. Now he is himself in dire need of compassion. So he was not properly guided, because in case of compassion of first kind, the saints are having, there is no kind of, no sense of confusion. But in case of Arjuna, he was in utter confusion, what to do, what not to do, whether go for war, whether not to go for war. And within himself, he was shattering. He was not in a stable condition. So it is a second type of compassion Arjun was feeling. Now, and at that time, the idea of being merciful upon others, when you yourself are in such a kind of situation, then showing mercy to others, that no, they will get murdered, they will get killed, such kind of stating mercy to others when your own condition is not stable, is meaningless. So Arjuna was stating many of the reasons that we should not go for war. On other hand, his situation was not in equilibrium, so it was meaningless. Such was stated Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Here, why Sri Krishna is addressed as Madhusudana? Because he has killed the demon Madhu, so he is capable of slaying all kind of confusion arising within Arjuna. So here Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna that you are Madhusudan, you have slain the demon Madhu, so you can only slain, you can only ultimately capable of combusting all my such kinds of confusions. so so that I will be properly guided for discharging my duties. So this was the first verse. Shri Bhagwan was, now here Shri Bhagwan was, now Shri Bhagwan has said, that is the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna now here said. Kutasva kasmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajushtam swargam akirtim akarjuna akirtikaram arjuna kutastva kashmalam idam kutah tva. From where within you, kutah tva, from where within you kashmalam idam. So that is such kind of delusion. Vishame, at the odd hours, some upasthitam has arisen within you at such odd condition, at the hour of peril, when we have to go forward at that odd hour. From where such kind of delusion has arisen within you? Shri Krishna has stated to ask such type of questions to Arjuna. From where such kind of delusion, confusion has arisen when we are at the last hour? Anarya Justam Swargam Akirtikaram Arjuna. This is Anaryam. So this is like a crude person you are talking. You are not talking like a mature person. You are Anarya, not a great. You are not talking like a great person. Anaryam. So Anaryam Justam Aswargam. So crude persons only practice such ideas, and this is aswargam. It will not lead you to greater abode. It will not lead you to heaven. Such kind of ideas, or simply that is quitting the war, cannot lead you to greater abode. So aswargam akirtikaram, and it will not also give you grace. It is akirtikaram. Arjuna. So Shri Bhagwan, that is Supreme Lord Krishna, is stating to Arjun that the blessed Lord said, "O Arjuna, how has the infatuation overtaken you? Such kind of infatuation overtaken you, that is the delusion overtaken you at this odd hour. It is shunned by noble souls." Such kind of ideas was already that is forbidden by noble souls. Saints are not having such ideas, such kind of excuses which you are having. It is shunned already by noble souls. Neither will it bring you to heaven nor fame to you. So such kind of ideas are very dangerous. It will not give you heaven and not the fame for which you are legible. That kind of fame, illegible. For that kind of fame you will not get if you are having such ideas. The word Arya, here the word Anaryam has been said, that Arjuna was talking like a crude person. And what does it mean by Arya? The word Arya in our sacred books means that a highly evolved and cultured person who takes the right decision at any point of time. Such person is called Arya. But Arjun was not taking a proper decision. It was only guided by attachments, worldly attachments. So Sri Krishna is addressing him as Anaryam. You are not like a evolved and cultured person talking. So Aryan connotes goodness, the term that is for great gentleman, perfect gentleman. The aim of this Vedic scriptures is to induce humans to become Aryans in all respects. So Aryans means to all human race are to become Aryans. First to get submerged in Lord, we have to become Aryan. We have to become Nar, then only we can be submerged in Narayan. So here we have to be Aryan, and Arjuna was talking like an Aryan. Shri Krishna finds Arjun's present condition in conflict with that ideal, so and reprimands him. So now here Shri Krishna was condemning Arjun. Why such kind of ideas are within you? Arjuna was condemned, reprimanded by Lord Krishna for calling for by calling attention to his confusion in how to live up to this ideal state of being under the current circumstances. So under current circumstances, how you have to behave and what not to do, such kind of dangerous thoughts may lead you to downer abode, and these will make you infamous. So such were the points on which Sri Krishna was want to mention the attention of Arjuna. Now Sri Bhagwat Geeta, the song of God, it starts from here only, second verse only, and in earlier verses of first chapter, now Sri Krishna has aroused the hunger of knowledge by stating that now see your brethren who are standing on both sides. So Sri Krishna already has mentioned that they are your brethren. So in our day-to-day situation, it is the God itself at some times creates such a situation in which we are in dire need of guidance, and for search of that kind of knowledge we ultimately turned to righteous path and ultimately get devoted to Lord. So in our day-to-day life also such condition arises that situations are created by Lord. Why it is created? We are condemning, why God you have given me such situation, this is not worthy, our happiness has gone, we are in distress, but we ultimately due to our soul's strength find that path which is the right, yes, and ultimately get devoted and ultimately become Aryan. That means the great and evolved person which is next higher position to Narayan. So it is done by Lord Krishna to make thirsty Arjun about knowledge, and now Sri Krishna is giving the preachings of life, how we can be guided within our life in a best manner to Arjuna. Now, rather than confronting him, Sri Krishna is making Arjun uncomfortable about the current state. Now Krishna was not confronting, yes, yes, you are stating right, why to do this war, let us go. No, he was making the situation uncomfortable of the current state. He was not on the side of Arjun for this kind of ideas. We all feel uncomfortable when we are confused because it is not what is our swabhav, that is nij bhav. So in the state our soul want to remain, that is our swabhav, our self feeling. But Arjun was now eccentric from that point of feeling. He was now in a state of confusion. It was not his own kind of swabhav. So this is the state not of soul, certainly not of soul, and it is unequilibrium state. So that feeling of discontentment, if not properly channeled, then it may be distressful or it may be catastrophic. So now Lord was channeling it properly so that Arjuna is guided in a righteous manner. Now, the situation suitable resolution of doubt helps a person acquire a deeper understanding than before. So if our doubts, our situations are suitably resolved, then we get deeper understanding. So here Arjun is properly guided so that deeper understanding may get evolved within him. And God sometimes deliberately puts a person in turmoil. There is a situation in our life, and God himself sometimes put us in such a turmoil state so that we may forced to search for knowledge, to remove the confusion, to come away from turmoil, We are forced to. In a comfortable position, we never forced to go for knowledge or higher about something which is divine, which is transcendental, which is supernatural. We are not going for that. But in case if we are in distress, we are in turmoil, we are in grief or in odd situations, we go for it to remove the confusion. And what the doubt is finally, when the doubt is finally resolved, then we get a higher level of understanding. So this is only the evolution. So we are getting evolved day by day in our life. And how we will be evolved, such is the preachings in Bhagavad Gita, that it guides us to get evolved under our odd situation, so that we are perfectly channeled, we are perfectly guided. Now, verse 2.03. क्लैव्यमास्मगमः पार्थ न तत्त्वयुपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदये दौर्बल्यं त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परन्तपः. Now, Supreme Lord says, Clavium masmagamah parth. So, clavium, unmanliness, masmagamah. Don't go for unmanliness, O Parth. Why Sri Krishna is stating Arjuna as Parth? Because he was the son of Pritha. Pritha, who was Pritha? It is the name of Kunti. So Kunti was sister of Vasudev. Kunti was sister of Vasudev, and Vasudev was father of Lord Krishna. So in this manner, Kunti was Bua of Lord Krishna. So here Parth is said to Kunti that you are son of that great mother and that great father Indra, that is God of all divine souls. So that is you are son of that Indra, and you are son of Pratha. The Pratha was, that is a Kunti was nurtured by Kunti Bhoj, however given birth by Sursen. So it was all about Kunti. So now Shri Krishna is reminding Arjuna that you are of great inheritance and you are having such kind of helplessness. It is not good. Klavyam masmagamah Parth. O Parth, O Pritha Putra Arjun, O son of Pritha Arjun, don't go for such kind of unmanliness. Na etat tve upapadyate, such kind of feeling or thinking suits you. Upapadyate, it does not befits you. It does not befits you because at such an earlier situation you have killed many of, fought many wars, and never has gone such kind of helplessness. So how you are at that state, 11th hour, doing giving such statements and telling abandoning war, is it good? Chudram hriday daurbalyam tektva uttishta parantapa. So Shudram, that means such kind of pettiness of heart, daurbalyam and weakness of heart, tyaktva, give up such kind of pettiness and weakness of the heart, and uttishta, now arise, parantapa, you have conquered the enemies. You are like a hot shining object on your enemies. You have burnt them with your fire, with your flame of cross and bows. Now just arise and go forward. Such kind of weak-heartedness does not suit you. You are son of Pratha, and why you are doing so? O Pratha, O Parth. That's why Arjun was also known as Parth, because he was Prathaputra, so named as Parth. O part, yield not to unmanliness. This does not befit you. O scorcher of foes, so you have shined like a scorch on your enemies. So, O scorcher of foes, arise, giving up the petty weakness of the heart. Give up your weakness and now heart. Still, Shri Krishna is now making him to understand in other way. He has not has gone to deep knowledge of Sankhya Yoga, that is the transcendental knowledge or the knowledge of soul. He was only remembering him that you are a lion and you are a great warrior. Just rise and go forward. Such kind of things earlier, because at last only the Lord is giving the key of divinity. If we are happy with toys, then let us play with toys. If we are only happy with the embracing of God in their arms, then that kind of gem is given to us. It is bestowed to us. So, initial stage, Lord Krishna was making him to understand, but Arjun was not a simple kind of man or a nerd. He was a great warrior. At many situations, he has shown by his better understanding that he has chosen Lord Krishna in place of the complete Yadusena. That was also a great decision. He knows that what to choose, what not to choose. But how such kind of a weakness has came, either it is due to grace of God, because at certain period of time, God creates such a situation that you may be able to rise higher, to leave that situation, to overcome that situation, and may guided by the Lord to go abode, higher abode, and be divine. So such situation might surely be arisen by God, Lord Shri Krishna only, so that Arjuna may get a chance, and we all may get a chance to listen, to hear, to ultimately empower us with the great preachings of Shrimad Bhagwat Geeta. Successfully treading the path of enlightenment requires high spirit and morale. So, one needs to be optimistic, enthusiastic, and energetic to overcome the negativities of material mind. If we want to successfully live life, then also negativities will not work. We have to abandon such kind of ideas, have strength in our minds, such as sloth, the rut of habit, ignorance, and attachment. So if we are lagging in our works, let it happen. What is going, let it happen. We are not going to resolve. Such kind of sloth is not going to work. We should be energetic. Rut of habit, if we are rigging in the same habit, then also it will not work. So ignorance and attachment, here it is the ignorance, it is the unenlightened Arjuna who is talking, and it is the why he was enlightened, because he was attached to his material kits and kins. So such kind of ignorance has arisen within him. So such thing will not work. It will make you in utter confusion in your day-to-day life. We also are many a times get overpowered by grief, is distressed position due to our attachment only, due to our ego only. So these are the things. That's why, how much is our ego? We are attached to our own persons, because these are the reasons of our ego, that this is my relative. See how greater are my relatives, how stronger. This is my house. So it is only making us to get more and more attached to them, because these are only empowering our ego. So here such things will not work. It will make you, it will capture you at many a times under great grief. Shri Krishna is a skillful teacher. and thus having reprimanded Arjuna. So he has condemned Arjuna, please don't show such kind of behavior at such peril. And thus having reprimanded Arjun, that he now enhances Arjun's internal strength to tackle the situation. He was stating that's why Arjuna has Pratha. Again, he addressed Arjuna as Parantapa because he has vanquished at many of the situation, many of the enemies. That's why he is Parantap, scorcher of foes. He was stating like this. Now, his desire for dereliction of dutiful actions as Kshatriya, as a warrior class prince, it is not befitting him, it is not suiting him. So Sri Krishna was again cautioning. Sri Krishna goes on to explain that the way he is feeling is neither moral duty and not true compassion. It is not a true compassion which you are feeling. You yourself are in unequilibrium state. You yourself are in utter confusion, and on others time you are saying that you are having compassion. So compassion is suits a stabler mind, not a person who himself is in a unbalanced state. So it is only a lamentation and delusion. So Arjuna is only lamenting and delusing. Such is the statement given by Supreme Lord. It has its roots in weakness of mind. We are ignored. We do not know the reality of ourselves. That's why we are in a such compassionate state. If this behavior was truly based on wisdom and mercy, then there would not be any confusion or grief, but the situation was something else that Arjuna was feeling. Now, let me recite a bhajan. Shri Ram. धीरे धीरे जीवन नैया, धीरे धीरे जीवन नैया, चली प्रभु की ओर, चली हरि की ओर। धीमे धीमे डोल रही है, धीमे धीमे डोल रही है, तट के बंधन तो चली हरि की ओर। जल गहरा चंचल है तरंगे, व्याकुल मन की विरही उमंगे। जल गहरा चंचल है तरंगे, व्याकुल मन की विरही उमंगे। मेरा तुम प्रभु हाथ थाम लो, मेरा तुम प्रभु हाथ थाम लो, ले चलो अपनी ओर, चली प्रभु की ओर। आंधी चलती दूर किनारा, छूटा जग से नाता सारा। आंधी चलती दूर किनारा, छूटा जग से नाता सारा। मेरा तो प्रभु तू ही सहारा, मेरा तो प्रभु तू ही सहारा। चरणन संग लो जो, चली प्रभु की ओर। जी घबराता मृत्यु दिखती, पल भर में अब नाव डूबती। जी घबराता मृत्यु दिखती, पल भर में अब नाव डूबती। मेरा तुम प्रभु हाथ थाम लो, मेरा तुम प्रभु हाथ थाम लो। ले चलो अपनी ओर, चली हरि की ओर। डर मत मन ये काली राती, मन मंदिर धर नाम की बाती। डर मत मन ये काली राती, मन मंदिर धर नाम की बाती। लेंगे थाम वो राम खेवैया, लेंगे थाम वो राम खेवैया। बांध प्रेम की डोर, चली हरि की ओर। धीमे धीमे डोल रही है, तट के बंधन तोड़, चली प्रभु की ओर। श्री राम। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। न तो हम कामये राज्यं न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवम्, कामये दुःखतप्तानां प्राणिनामार्तनाशनम्। त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, नतमदिष्टम पाहि माम रक्ष माम। तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो मां, हम सब तेरी शरण में, अपने चरणों की भक्ति दो मां। श्री राम।
राम राम शिव कुमार।
राम राम।
भजन बड़े भाव से गाया, बहुत अच्छा, बहुत तरंगे तेज थी, बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत अच्छा। प्रवचन भी अच्छा। राम राम प्रिया बहन। राम
राम
राम।
राम आंटी। राम राम आंटी।
राम राम
सभी को राम राम।
राम राम ऐश्वरी विजय बहन जी, सबको राम राम।
राम राम शिव कुमार।
राम राम राम।
Thank you, Bhaiya, for the wonderful discourse. And thank you for the bhajan. Thank you all for joining us today. And if you have any questions, you can ask Bhaiya. Okay, Bhaiya. Thanks, Bhaiya. Thank you.